Welcome to the ALP Connect software review by Mirage. When you first come into the application, you're going to be presented with this screen. Now, if you've already connected your application to the Bluetooth module that you have installed with your ALP CPU, then basically it's going to go from this screen directly into the main screen, which we'll show you here in just a moment. If you haven't, though, connected up your ALP Bluetooth module, you will need to type in the PIN number and connect like you would any other device. You can simply hit the scan button. It'll scan looking for available Bluetooth modules and then ask you for the PIN number. Once you marry the two together, you'll be ready to go. So the main screen looks something like this. You'll notice a couple of things on the screen here. First, there's a car in the center, miles per hour gauge at the top. You'll notice the satellite in the top right, and then you'll notice the radar target in the lower left. Now these are the various icons that I have on my system because these happen to be some of the modules that I have plugged into my ALP CPU. So you may or may not see all of these icons. First off, if you notice upper right, the satellite indicates that I am receiving a GPS signal. So this means that basically I can set lid times and other things based on speed. Now, this particular version is running on an iPod. Now, because the iPod does not have a GPS that's built in, I won't be able to see the speeds of the targets, or whenever I'm targeted with, like laser, for example, the speed will just show 0. It's not going to show the actual speed in which I was traveling. Now, hopefully this will be something that ALP changes in the future, and we'll be able to actually get that information directly from the GPS module, since I do have it installed. Also, you'll notice in the lower left corner there's the radar target. Now, the radar target is for the STIR module currently. This allows you to pick up radar signals and have them displayed on the screen here. It's a really nice setup because basically you can mute the radar at any point in time just by tapping the screen. It'll tell you what the band is. It'll also tell you what the frequency is. So it's a really nice setup for those of you that want to run the STIR antenna. Now, there are 3 different modes for the radar target. You'll see it's currently in the red mode. This is the least sensitive of all the modes. Basically, it's designed to filter out more of the automatic doors and things like that that cause all the annoying false alerts on radar. There's also a highway mode, which is unrestricted, and the city mode, which allows you the yellow city mode, which is not quite as restrictive as the red mode, but still does some of the filtering so that you can basically filter out some of those falses. Now, all of this is configurable through the settings web page, so you can go to the settings web page, download to your USB device, and then plug it in, and all those will be reflected in the app here. Now, you'll also notice the car is blue. Currently, that's blue for defense mode. If it was green, it would be just in your regular parking sensor mode. And if you were not connected to Bluetooth, you would have the white mode, which you see here. Now, one word of warning, if you are not connected to this Bluetooth module and you're using the Bluetooth module, effectively what happens is it's just like turning off the ALP system. So if that car is white, you need to make sure you check your Bluetooth connection, because that means you're not protected. You are basically in a unconnected mode. So the last thing on this screen is the recent alarms. If we click here, you can see the various things that I've been hit with, both today and in the past. Effectively, today I was hit mostly with Ka band radar in the 34.5 area. Then you see a couple of laser alley hits down towards the bottom. These are actually my laser allies, so nothing special here. So I was just doing some testing earlier. But you will notice that it does say 0 miles per hour, and as I told you earlier, it's because I'm running on an iPod. If you were running on an iPhone, you would actually get the real speed based on the GPS of the phone. Now we're going to click over here to the settings screen. On the settings screen, you've got several different options. One of them is the system info, which basically shows you some general information about the system, including the various versions of the firmware, the software, and the device serial number and the region that you're located in. You can also reset to defaults. This will reset all of your settings back to the default settings. I'm not going to do this right now because I don't want to reprogram mine, but if you do happen to reset back to defaults, all you have to do is go to the ALP webpage, download your settings file, put that on your USB, and plug it in, and you're good to go. as I showed you earlier, you can also take these recent alarms and export them to your USB stick. So you click the button here, it'll write a file out on your USB. You go back to the ALP settings webpage, upload that file, and it'll give you a nice pretty printed version of all of the different things that you've been hit by, from radar to laser, the counts, the types of laser, etc., etc. It's a really nice feature. Another option here is the Bluetooth quality. Basically, they've built in a graph where you can monitor, the signal strength of your Bluetooth module. In this particular case, basically, if you're anything over or under 90 dB, you should be good to go. As you start getting closer to that 93 dB minimum or negative 93 dB minimum, you start to lose connectivity, and we don't want that, obviously. I'll go through the demo here in just a minute, but effectively that will show you all the different alerts and things that the Bluetooth module can actually do for you. Here in the help, this will actually go to the ALP update site and show you various information about the module itself. Now, a few more options. Down here at the bottom of the settings page, you'll notice the speed, which you can switch between metric or imperial speeds. You also have voice alerts. You can choose a male or female voice, and the voice pack notifications. Now, if you're in the detailed notification, as I am here, this will actually give you a detailed alert. I'll show you an example here. We'll switch back to simple.
Error sensitive speed laser ahead. Laser patrol ahead.
So the difference is, in the detailed mode, it'll actually identify the gun and tell you what the gun is, whereas in the simple mode, it's just going to tell you error sensitive speed laser. A couple of new things that they've added in the audio output, which is the next item here, is you can set it for a couple of different things. They have the HFP profile, which allows you to basically simulate a headphone or a Bluetooth headset, which is nice for those of you that want it to come across in your car and automatically mute your audio. It'll work just like your phone connecting to your Bluetooth on your vehicle. You can also output always to the speaker, or you can set it for default, in which it'll just do whatever the device is told to from the beginning. You can also do what's called audio mixing, in which you can mix the audio with something that's currently playing. So if you have a MP3 file playing on your iPod or something of that nature, that will be mixed with the ALP alerts. Or you can have it duck. In the duck setting, it will bring the audio volume down of anything other than the ALP so that you can still hear the ALP very clearly. So as I told you earlier, I'm going to go back and show you the demo. This will take just a couple of seconds to go through, but we're going to let this run, and that way you can see what all the different alerts are and how they work.
Atlanta Stealth ahead. Laser Ally ahead. Traffic Observer ahead. Kamiya ahead. X-Band. K-Band. Ka-Band. Pop radar.
And there you go. So that is the ALP Connect application from AL Priority to go along with your system. Basically, it allows you to do get voice alerts and various other informational items from a handheld device, whether it be an iPod or any other Apple device currently. There is an Android version coming out. We're hoping it'll be out before the end of the year, which will provide you the same sort of thing, but on an Android device. So hope that helps people out, that those of you that aren't familiar with these devices and how they work. I actually love this setup, and it makes it very easy for me to identify exactly what's going on, giving you that situational awareness that you need while you're driving. That's about all I've got for today. Thanks.